Hello and welcome to this collective reading. I hope you're all well. I was just about to walk out the door and go outside in the sunshine, but then I had a strong feeling that some messages wanted to come through, so I thought I'd sit down and record this reading. It's a timeless reading, so whenever you find this is the right time for you. And I've got a strong feeling that this is going to have something to do with a relationship of some kind, a connection. Not getting a completely clear vision on that just yet, but we'll see what comes through in the cards. So let's see. And of course this is a collective reading, so if you want something more personal, more private, then go ahead and click the link down in the description box and you can book a private reading with me. And thank you to everyone who's subscribed so far as well. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, Three of Cups. This is a really positive card to come out, actually, having that sense that this is to do with a connection, to do with a relationship of some kind. It doesn't have to be romantic, it could be a friendship, it could be a working collaboration. There's something very positive here and very supportive about the energy between you and this person, or perhaps between you and the group of people, since we have the three women in this card, it's not just the two. I feel like some interesting ties have come together. That's the word that just came through, like threads coming together and connecting different people. It feels like a really positive thing and it feels like something to pursue. However, what I just got come through then was maybe you're taking a little bit of time out at the moment just to assess where you are in life. So I just had the words changing of the guards, and that's interesting because I've had this a few times on my Patreon channel where I've done readings and there's been a message of changing of the guards. So this could be relationships shifting around in your life. It could be that you've met someone new and now you're questioning whether the other relationships in your life actually are up to this standard. And it's not to say that we're here to compare people to other people in that sense, but maybe comparing how we feel around this person or this group of people compared to how we've felt in the past, whether we're moving into a new way of relating with other people and ways of relating that feel more like this, where we can be ourselves, where we can enjoy ourselves, where we can feel excited, where we can be expressive, where we don't have to hide or mask who we are. We can actually just go out into this group of people, sit with them and feel accepted and seen. And also another message that's coming through is that, we can just go and be ourselves regardless of whether we're accepted or not. We can go out there and we can do our thing and we can take the mask off and we can just show up as we are. We don't have to be accepted by everybody. Otherwise, if we were waiting for that to happen, then we would never show our true selves. But we will also know certain places, environments, certain groups, certain people that we can be around where we can just know that we are going to be accepted and feel comfortable showing up as ourselves. Because in some places we might not feel comfortable being ourselves. We're going to do it anyway because that's where we're at right now. That's what I'm feeling collectively. We're just going to go and be ourselves, and if people don't like that, then that's okay. They're not for us, and we're not for them. And so sometimes it can be uncomfortable, but it is nice to be in a situation or an environment or within a group or with a certain person where we can just know that we are taken into the fold, so to speak, that we are accepted, and that we can connect freely and easily with certain people. Let's see what else wants to come through. Yeah, we've got the sun. The sun, the true self, that part of ourself that shines through no matter what. I'm feeling like inner child element to this card. We've got the child here, and a really nice warm exchange going on between the two people in this card. We've also got the butterfly up here as well, so we may have just moved through a time of transformation, transition, where it's become like glaringly obvious, as the sun is quite glaringly obvious in the sky, that we can only really live in the way that feels right to us. And it's a really empowering thing to come to a point where, you know, we feel like, hey, this is who I am, this is who I'm going to be out in the world. And there will be people who I'm noticing the hand going towards almost like the heart of this child. There will be people that we'll be able to touch in with that feel like home. Um, I just had home is where the heart is come through quite strongly then. So people we're able to share our hearts with, people we're able to share our true selves with, as I said before. So keep shining. It can sometimes sound a little bit cliched, you know, like keep shining, be your true self. All of those things can sound like they've just been repeated over and over again, and sound, you know, like they don't hold much power, but they really do. And I feel like so many of us at the moment are beginning to feel that and express that out into the world. So let's get another card to go with that. I feel like there's an invitation to be playful, to play. Perhaps we've been very guarded in the past, and for good reason. You know, maybe we've had things happen in the past, maybe we've had certain people in our lives that have tried to maybe push us down or slam us, you know, when we are ourselves, when we put our true selves out into the world. There could be people that have tried to hold us down in the past. But I'm not really feeling that in this reading. I'm not feeling that that's what we're dealing with now. I do feel that we have come through a time where that's been the case. But I'm just seeing like a clear path ahead, and it's a path that we're forging because it might not be a path that anyone else has walked on before. And so something about trailblazing as well, and the blazing energy, like that beautiful, bright energy of the sun that we can embody moving forwards. Oh, okay, card fell on the floor. Yes, absolutely. So we've got the Six of Swords. There's a definite transition taking place. There's a definite sense of moving on and just being like, I just heard cutting our losses. So the things that have happened in the past, the difficulties we have faced, yes, they are there. Yes, we've learned from them. Yes, that is what's given us the strength, and that's actually what's on the bottom of the deck as well. That's what's given us the strength to be ourselves in the world. Likely we've been through times in our lives very early on where we couldn't be ourselves and where that was silenced in some way. And I do feel that now we're looking up. I feel like things are looking up. We're able to view things differently. We're able to be more free, feel more free in terms of how we move forwards and how we greet the world. I'm almost getting a sense with the woman here with her hands back like this, her chest open. It's almost like when we can get up in the morning and greet the dawn, greet the day. There's that sense of overcoming something as well, overcoming a challenge. And as we move forwards, we're actually setting sail, I want to say, because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you know, there are people on a boat moving on from somewhere, from like choppy waters into more calm waters. And I feel like we're setting sail into something new, fun, interesting, empowering. We're going to be learning about things as well that really pique our interest. And yeah, there's a sense of renewal coming through as well, which is interesting. As I mentioned, this was on the bottom of the deck. So this strength that we found through adversity, through all the difficult things that we faced in our lives, through the times when we weren't able or didn't feel we were able to be ourselves, or we didn't feel accepted, all of that has kind of built character. Let's say, I know people say sometimes, you know, it builds character, and we can be like, oh, you know, I'm sick of building character. I just want to have an easy life. Well, life, you know, it isn't always easy, and I'm sure many of us are aware of that. Being here isn't always easy, showing up isn't always easy, but it does build our strength over time. It's like repetitions of lifting a weight, and then gradually we become stronger and stronger in ourselves, and we're able to stand up and be counted. That's what just came through. Stand up and be counted, be seen, and just keep going, just keep showing up, just keep being who you are, because it is making a difference. And these people can't see you, they can't find you, they can't connect with you or work with you if that's the case, if you're hiding all the time. How can people know what we love, what we're interested in, what we're about, what we do, what we're passionate about, if we don't show any of that. So be a bit more open, that's what I'm feeling. We can be a bit more open about who we are, what makes us tick, what we're passionate about, what we love. Yeah, just all of those things. It just feels like really important to just get out there and just be who we are so that people can find us. So I felt like this reading was going to be about a particular connection. So I feel like that's a little bit of background in terms of what we're moving through and how we're moving through time and space at the moment. But in terms of the specific relationship of some kind of connection, let's pull some cards for that, because I feel like that's where we were headed to begin with. 9 of Wands, a very strong Phoenix energy here. Something about rising from the ashes. So I'm seeing 2 people rising from the ashes right now, coming out of a time where it's been challenging, like with the 6 of Swords, and just being able to burn more brightly, to shine more brightly. And there's something very supportive about this connection. Like I said, it could be a one-on-one, it could be a connection with a group, but there's something very supportive because there's an understanding there of the pain that sometimes we have to move through in order to, be burnt and to be born again, to rise from the ashes. And if you talk to other people that have been through that kind of process and are working with it constructively and consciously, you can have fantastic conversations. Sitting down and just having that conversation and someone saying, yes, I know, I've been through it too. And while we don't have exactly the same experiences, we may have very similar experiences. And so there's something about recognition here, recognizing that spark in another person or a group of people, recognizing that no matter how messy, no matter how chaotic we are, if we're in the throes of dissolution and dissolving and all of that happens before we kind of burst into flame and become anew and rise as the phoenix from the ashes, we can be chaotic, and that's okay. And this person or these people will know what it's like to be in that space. So they're like, oh, okay, you're going through a thing. It's okay. I get it. Don't worry about it. As long as we're not like spilling our chaos all over other people and like taking out our bad mood on them or any of those things, as long as we're owning our emotions, it's all good. And it's okay to not be perfect. And it's okay to show up as messy and chaotic and be like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. I know I'm going somewhere, but I don't know what this is exactly or whatever. These are the kind of people that we need in our lives that can be there and say, I get it. I get that you're moving through this time and, you'll come out the other side and it'll be good. Or they can say, you know what, I'm going through this as well. So we can be messy and chaotic together. And then eventually we'll come out the other side. And if I come out the other side first, then I'm going to help you to come out as well. There's a really strong sense of support coming through from whoever this is or whoever these people are in our lives. So there's a difference, I'm talking about chaos. There's a difference between feeling chaotic and owning that and knowing that you're there and, like I said, not taking that out on other people. There's a difference between that and people being chaotic and messy and like pouring all of their crap all over other people. There's a big difference between the two. And, we want to be working consciously with whatever this chaos might be. And, the process of becoming can be chaotic. Ultimately, underneath all of that chaos is this. It's our true self. It's our true light. It's our true soul essence. And the chaos is just taking place because we're shedding some old skins, which happens repeatedly through the spiritual awakening process. And sometimes it can be messy, but just remember that this is what lies underneath. This peace, this calm that we can find as well when we move into calmer waters, let's say. Whenever we can still the mind, whatever we do to do that, whether that be meditation or just watching your favourite film or going for a walk in nature or like reading a book that you really enjoy, cooking, whatever it is for you, whatever stills the mind, that's the thing to go to. That's our go-to experience or experiences that we can lean on that help us to deal with the chaos. Because it's the mind, it's the mind that goes into chaos and begins to like throw all this stuff around and then drags up these emotions. And if we can still that as often as we can, then it's going to be easier to move forwards eventually. So let's see, another card. Yeah, again, you know, there's a lot of calm in this card. And I do feel again like this is what's underneath. These kind of energies are underneath all of the chaos. And I'm really getting a sense here as well, you know, spending time in nature is going to be really, really helpful, because nature has its own rhythm, its own timing, its own plan. It does what it needs to do. And when we get into that energy, when we sit in nature, we can absorb that and we can remember that's our true state as well, that we have a rhythm, that we have timing, that we're moving along in the perfect timing for ourselves, even if it doesn't feel like it, especially when we're moving through this kind of Nine of Wands, chaos, phoenix rising, explosion energy. Sometimes it feels like everything's gone crazy. So I just had the word stability come through quite strongly. Having people around us who help us to find our own stability. They ask the right questions, they can say the things that we need to hear. Having intuitive friends is very helpful, as I've been realising over the past year or so, especially the past 6 months, you know. Having someone who can intuitively kind of pick up on what's going on and reflect that back to you can be really helpful. And I just heard as well the birds have messages. So there could be particular birds that show up. There's a robin in this card. You could see maybe little birds that show up and are comforting to you. You know, personally for me, that's a sign that the fae are around. And no matter what I'm going through or feeling at that time, the little birds show up and they do their little tweeting thing and then they head off as quickly as they turned up usually. But there's a message there of peace for me whenever that happens. So if you have particular birds that show up when you need them to, take notes of how you feel when that happens. See if any intuitive messages come through from those birds as well. So I'm getting a one-on-one feeling now. So there's a one-on-one connection that I'm going to read, and then we'll close out the reading. So this could be someone that you've recently connected with or that you've reconnected with. And this is just a particular person. So let's see what comes through with that. Very creative, whoever this is, very inspiring, very creative, takes the lead. The Queen of Wands is very fiery energy, very, I just had the word frenetic, so there's kind of like a frenetic, almost like a chaotic feeling I'm getting. I don't always get that with the original Queen of Wands, but with this one in this deck, she's got a quite mischievous, kind of cheeky way about her, and she'll come in like a whirlwind and she'll set the cat amongst the pigeons, so to speak, and she can be quite hypnotizing, maybe. So maybe someone's coming into your life who's shaking you up a little bit, shaking up your idea of reality, shaking up how you feel about yourself, maybe even how you feel about them. Maybe they've reappeared, maybe they've been around you before, but there's something very inspiring about this person. And it actually feels as though it's got a lot to do with their freedom, that they just are who they are. And if we're moving through a time where we're finding who we are and we're beginning to realise that, yes, we're going to just go out and be ourselves, having people like this around can be very inspiring. They can also be kind of chaotic sometimes, let's say. Maybe this ties in with the Nine of Wands as well. See, very fiery, flamey energy there. But ultimately, whatever this shakes up within us, whatever this stirs within us, is actually going to be a positive thing, because it helps us to find who we truly are, helps us to balance ourselves out eventually. So yeah, beautiful, really helpful cards there, especially I would say, you know, with this energy that came through at the beginning. it is time for us to find where we belong. Of course, we very much belong with ourselves, but at the same time, we can have very beautiful mirroring that comes through from other people. And I just had the words, it's time to get a bit messy. And to be messy is okay. And the people who love us, the people who really care about us, they'll accept us in any state. They love us in any state that we're in. So as much as we accept other people wherever they are, remember that also other people will accept us wherever we are. And yeah, so there's a lot going on at the moment. It feels, for this reading, there's a lot of mixed energy actually. You've got very calm, contained, stable, beautiful, warm energy, and then we've got like crazy fire, everything's all over the place kind of energy, and that's okay, because we've got the strength to move through whatever it is that we're moving through. And you know, it's okay to feel however you feel at the moment. And you may notice that moods are rapid cycling. Like you could feel really sad or really angry, and then you feel quite happy, and you feel inspired, and you feel warm, and you feel loving, and then, you know, it's kind of moving around like this. And that's okay. Just meet yourself wherever you are, whenever you need to, or whenever you sit down to sit with yourself, be with yourself. Whatever arises is like absolutely okay. It's fine. And the chaos will pass, is what I'm hearing. Just keep calling on your allies. Keep calling on these people that get it. It's okay for you to express how you're feeling. So thank you for watching this reading. Thank you for being here as always. Thanks to everyone who subscribed. If you like this reading, then subscribe and you can see more. And as I said at the beginning, if you'd like a private, personal reading, you can find the link in the description box below as well. So take super good care of yourselves. I'll speak to you again soon. Much love. Bye-bye.